Willie D. Live.
And if we start to reinterpret our thinking, maybe we can come together again and understand no matter what makes me feel good about myself. In terms of what you name yourself, what chapter you belong to, what fraternity or sorority, no matter how I feel, God saw fit to make us first. And if I'm made in God's image, how can I treat you like you anything but God?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Earlier in the conversation, you mentioned Mutulu Shakur.
Absolutely.
May
God
Allah
bless
be
the dead.
pleased with Brother Mutulu Shakur,
Yeah.
who, for those who did not know, was a political prisoner. I want to say he did 36 years in prison.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm
Tupac
wrong.
step. Yeah.
Assata Shakur,
Yeah.
still in Cuba,
Yeah.
kicked out of America.
I hope they don't never get him. Never bring him home.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. What do you think is the culture's responsibility to the political prisoners who are still incarcerated to this
Man,
day?
I was talking to a wise sister who started, $1 billion business, and black woman. And she said, she gave me a challenge in my lifetime. I got to figure this out. 40 million black people in this country. I figure 20 million of them are above the poverty line. If you give me 10%, that's 2 million. Give me 5%. Give me 1 million black people. Give me $2.50 a week. Give me $10 a month. Give me that 1 million. Give me that. That's what, roughly 10 million.
Yeah,
If you can give me 100, we'll make 100 million a month. We should have a fund that takes care of our own. We should take care of our old. We should take care and build our own schools. And then it's just $10. It's just what you waste on fast food, on alcohol, meat, marijuana. I got $10 of marijuana money to give every month. But if 1 million of us do it, just 1 million, 1 million out of 40, you will have $120 million a year of a slush fund to take care of not only political prisoners, but all freedom fighters who got released. You'd have that to take care of schooling in terms of your Saturday schools. If we do that, if we just have the discipline, 1 million of us, if we have the discipline to give $10 a month, that is $120 million a year. And what can't you do with that?
Right, man. Beautiful answer. What do you hope? What are your highest hopes for the accomplishment of this album, Michael?
Man, I want to do like, in terms of personal, just, selfishly, I'm still a rapper.
Yeah.
I want all the attention and the fame and the money, all that old rapper stuff, right?
Man, we want that for you, brother.
I feel like this is a miseducation of Lauryn Hill moment. What that album was for black women, and I saw my sisters just glow. I got 5 sisters. I saw my baby mamas just glow. I saw black women glowing. I think that this record does that for black and working class men.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, and I want to lead the Grammys with an arm full of trophies too. And I want to drop another one and another one. And I want to use my platform to empower people who organize it on a daily basis, like TEDS, like Georgia Youth Build in Georgia, like Gary Davis at the Next Level Boys Academy. That's it. I wanted to smoke weed, rap, go to the Blue Flight. That was my plan. God just had other plans.
Right.
He messed around. I got educated. I got illuminated on certain things. So I understand that with getting what you want from God comes with some responsibilities too.
Yeah.
And my responsibility to my community is to uplift, to be a walking example of upliftment, and try my very best to uplift others by empowering the people who do the work. See, I used to be an organizer. Every week, my mind was on organizing. Now, because I got the job I wanted, God gave me the blessing of going around the globe singing and dancing, I realize I'm a mobilizer. It's my job now that when an organizer calls it, this is what I'm organizing, to show up to mobilize people to come to hear.
You help to pull the parts together.
Yeah, absolutely. You come, you just serve as a caller. Hey, I'm here today. That's what later in the SCLC's existence, not later, but in the later '60s, what you got was SNCC doing the organizing. You got John Lewis, Stokely Carmichael at the time, and Kwame Ture. You had them young students fiery, in Alabama and in Georgia, South Georgia, getting people out there. And what Dr. King did when he showed up, he brought the crowd, the mobilizers. So, for me, I've understood that what I want selfishly, I want to march in the Grammys, I want to walk out. I want to go from playing 3,000 people theaters to 12, 15, 30,000 people in arenas. I want that and more. But I don't want my life to have only been about that. I would have liked to have affected greater change before I get out of here. I would have liked to have led people to a spirituality in which they see something divine in themselves. you know, and that's people across all race and color and code. I played Charleston, South Carolina. A white boy came up to me, man. It was amazing. He had on this Braves cap. He said, Mike, I'm just a poor white boy from the Appalachian. And I identify with every single word of that album. Because the worker class, no matter the color, you suffer under the same masters. And they brutal. You know, the same people that named us nigga named crackers. It wasn't just because they whipped crackers. It was a lower standard of white people that they saw that was not beneficial to them. And they decided that they're going to annex them out too. And then when they got too friendly with us, they said, hold on. This club called white folks, we're going to open the doors, we're going to let you in. But you can't go singing and dancing with niggas no more. That happened to the Irish. That happened to the Italians. They did it to Jewish people too. They annexed all those white people out. But as power consolidated in this country, they needed to identify where power would stay. Listen to Dr. Frances Cress Welsing when she talks about it. You know, people, you got to really study and prove yourself worthy. I said, it was funny. I was talking to Clip doing an interview in Chicago, and I named all these things. I named Henry Osawatana. I named Of Muse and Men by Zora Neale Hurston. I named some other writers and stuff. And then I say, man, I'm just a guy sitting in front and stole some dope in his pocket. You know, and a lot of times we don't understand how much knowledge is around us and talk about resources because we see them as junkies and addicts. But man, they people who the revolution, they done fought it all they could, and they done got so hurt and deeply cut that they didn't have the power to keep moving on, and they're using things to pacify themselves. But you got to know that knowledge is everywhere. You know, I don't want a man that's never been broken to tell me how to repair myself. I need a man that's had to repair himself. You know, and while we doing that, we got to make sure we build strong children. Like Frederick Douglass said, it's easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men.
Yes, sir.
So the broken men that are repaired, they should be teaching those children to be strong.
Each one teach one.
You did the album, you did a record on junkies. Just kind of
Yes,
just a little bit.
Yeah, it's called Something for Junkies. And just because, you know, like Curtis Mayfield did Freddy's Dead for Superfly, junkies are people who have addictions are not respected and actually detested in our community. But why? We all have some addictions. Right. We all have been, usually the people I've encountered that are addicts are deeply sensitive people, very loving people, but the world is so that they don't always have what it takes to fight it, and they succumb to that because it numbs them. But I think in the black community, the biggest mistake we made was we became slave masters. We know that car costs $30 a wash at a proper car wash, and we'll rather pay that man $15. Well, I mean, not even 15. We'll rather pay him 5 or 10 because we can get away.
Like you
with
say,
it.
pay your people a decent wage.
Man, what I say, man, to my J's working hard to get paid, pay them fair wage, and do not treat your people like
go
slaves.
listen to Michael, y'all.
Yeah.
Go listen to Michael.
All this is in there.
Yeah, so much knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and just great music. Yeah. We talked about resources in the black community. Yeah. I want to say to you, brother, in my humble opinion, you're a great resource.
I appreciate you so much.
To our culture, brother. Thank you so much for coming by.
I appreciate you.
Shout out to Willie D.
Shouts out to Willie D.
Live, my brother. He couldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Right. I hope I did a good job, dear brother.
Great job.
Any parting words, dear brother?
Man, you can, you will, you must. You can, you will, you must.